Visa actually did a CyberSource acquisition in the past. So it's important to understand why are they dropping this kind of money for BioCatch. But what BioCatch actually does it evaluates user risk before the payment actually happens. It's during the account registration, during the login, during the profile updates and navigation. That's what is new. So the business itself is not new. Visa has a risk and security solutions business, which actually generates a $2 billion revenue. That's what our estimate is already. And this basically adds to it.
Diksha, talk to us about AI in the fintechs and payment space as it relates to fraud. I mean, that's always one of the big risks in the payment space here. I would think AI would enhance, if I'm a criminal, would really enhance my ability for fraud. How do the companies think about that?
That's very true, Paul. And if you notice and if you read the tea leaves, these card networks are obviously quite ahead of the curve in terms of identifying that issue, right? So you're right, AI has actually accentuated fraud. It's a topic that is in every bank boardroom. If you think about what happened with Mythos, the Anthropic model, it exposed a lot of vulnerabilities. So financial fraud overall is growing. And within payments, what was happening is the traditional gateway tools that authorize, like they struggle with the APP scams, which is basically when a legitimate user is tricked by a scammer into approving a transaction themselves. So they make the credentials, device, and OTP look valid. What companies like these, like BioCatch, do is that they detect cognitive behavior and indicators of coercion. Basically, if you're taking a long pause, if there's unusual navigation behavior, or the phone call patterns during the session, and that helps them to prevent. So this is preventative threat intelligence as opposed to when you are acting or in the moment of the payment. So Visa and MasterCard are both strengthening their aperture, like to basically address these issues and also help their clients with it.
So they're trying to come up with solutions. As a consumer, how would I experience the use of BioCatch in preventing fraud? Would I not be able to make a purchase, or am I going to get an alert? How would it affect me?
Yeah, Scarlett, I'm yet to take a look at what exactly is the modality of it. But if you were to take a cue from what Visa did with CyberSource, a lot of this happens in the back end. The holy grail is actually walking a very tight rope wherein you approve most or all of the good transactions and you block as many of the bad transactions without actually blocking the good transactions. So that's what all these companies are trying to approve. And authorization rates are one metric with which all of the payment companies actually sell their services. So they go and boast about their perfect authorization rates and minimal fraud rates. That's the metric that they're judged on by the merchants.
All right, I've got at least one Visa card in my pocket, so I applaud this deal. Anything that can help cybersecurity. So Diksha, real quick, just for Visa, just for example, over the last, 10 years, how is their fraud rate, whatever you look at, has it gotten better or worse? What's going on out there in the marketplace?
So actually the metric I would watch for this, Paul, is how are they doing on the revenue side? Because like I mentioned, this is not just strengthening their own internal fraud protection, it actually is generating direct revenue for Visa. So to give you an example, Visa is actually creating a lot more of this services revenue line. And we project that their services business by itself could be about $15+ billion by 2027. That's about 31% of their revenue from 10 billion in 2025. So the fraud and risk, the risk and security solutions itself is doing $2 billion annual revenue run rate right now. And I think they're trying to build and catch on this opportunity that has come along with increased requirements. And by the way, the timing is amazing because a lot of global regulators are increasingly holding the banks liable for social engineering and scam losses. So this allows Visa to kind of bring a very monetizable solution to sell to financial institutions facing these compliance.
Makes a lot of sense.